Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello, my name is Coco. This is a cozy flavoured gaming channel. I do a lot of recommendations here, a few let's plays and a few streams in there as well, but I love compiling lists like this to make it easier for you to find out what are the next games you want to play. There are just too many games out there, and right now the Nintendo eShop is just bonkers. It seems like everything is on sale. There is just so much to get through, so let's kick right into the video. I'm starting today on the cozy-ish side of my list, and I don't own every single game here, but I wanted to start off with one that I love, and that is called Moonlighter. I actually found this game pre-owned a few years ago in the UK and had no idea what to expect. All I knew was that there was shopkeeping and dungeons, and that turns out to be a great mix for me. In Moonlighter, every night you venture out into a procedurally generated dungeon, defeat enemies, and gather materials that you then sell in your shop the next day. You get to set the prices of each item and work out what prices work best, plus there are a few NPCs that will come in asking for specific items, and then you have a set amount of days to fulfill their order. Moonlighter has a great pace to it and definitely incentivizes exploration and action, as you want to fill up your shop with great items. But the fighting can be a little daunting until you work out how to fight various enemies and upgrade your armor. I'm probably only halfway through Moonlighter and I am not great at the action side of it, but that loop of dungeons and shopkeeping really does keep me hooked. The next cozy-ish on my game list is Sonic Frontiers. As a huge fan of Sonic Adventures, this had to be on my list for nostalgia alone, but it does lose some points for not having a Chow Garden. In Sonic Frontiers, our blue hero finds himself stranded on an ancient island that, according to reviews, looks so much better on the PlayStation than the Switch, so take that as you like. I'm in the camp of people that care less about the graphics and care more about just having a smooth and glitch-free experience, but I have heard that that's not necessarily the case either. Hence why, with 40% off, this game is finally on my radar, because overall I think this still looks like a great Sonic game. They've introduced an open world or open zone system that you get to explore, plus high-speed levels and cool bosses that are a must in any Sonic game. With so many remakes, I'm just happy that this is a new Sonic adventure for us to go on. But I still don't think anything can beat Sonic Adventure 2, which I am going to add to my stream list right now. By the way, there seems to be building work going on either side of me today, so if you hear that, I am so sorry. This next game about a family of foxes really should be cozy, and honestly, I am down to play any game where you play as a fox. But in Endling, Extinction is forever. If one of your cubs dies, they die forever. In Endling, you play as the last mother fox left on Earth and are tasked with raising your 3 cubs in a cruel world that humans have destroyed. Your mission is to guide your cubs to the last safe space where humans cannot harm them, but getting there will be anything but easy. Hunt or be hunted, teach your kits how to survive, and watch as they grow level by level, developing unique personalities and fears. This isn't a super violent game, but it certainly isn't super cozy either. More so, I think it's an important game about our environment, sacrifice, and survival. This is one that I'm genuinely really scared to play because I don't want the responsibility of looking after these cubs in case one of them dies. I feel like it would genuinely destroy me if anything bad happened to these cubs. But if this is one that enough of you want me to play, then perhaps you can live vicariously through me and I will go through the stress of being a mother fox for you. Still, if you would like that stress for yourself, right now the game is $14.99 and 50% off until June 26th. Next we have a darkly magical RPG game that is very heavily influenced by Slavic folklore and definitely one that you should be adding to your list. Black Book follows a young girl called Vasilisa who was destined to become a witch before throwing that away for love. Unfortunately, her betrothed mysteriously dies, and this causes Vasilisa to seek out the Black Book, that can grant any wish to the one who uncovers all 7 of its seals. Black Book is about 23 hours long, so this one is quite fleshed out and very story-driven, while still giving a few options of events and endings. Who you help or who you torment will all have an impact, as the demons are at your command, and while it may feel simple to not torment anyone, idle demons will torture you if they become restless. Another great feature is a really well-designed turn-based, card-based battle system, which I won't pretend to know too much about, but there are lots of spells to learn and strategize with, and anyone already familiar with card games will learn these systems pretty easily. Overall, I'm really interested in the story, the art style, and the Slavic folklore in this one. It sounds really interesting, really mysterious, and it's interesting being on the darker side of the story, being able to control demons. That sort of thing is usually not in a cozy or cozy-ish game. It's 55% off right now, and for $11, definitely one that I'm tempted by. Next is a game that I had heard of before and you probably know all about, but I hate to say it, I knew nothing about it but the name until really recently. Honestly, it wasn't until last week when the Summer Game Fest was on and the trailer for the second of this game came out that I actually understood what this game was. Honestly, that trailer gave me the chills. I am really keen for it, but that means I gotta play this game first. Stay tuned for that because I think I'll be making a video about all the great games announced in June, and oh my goodness, there are just so many. Too many things have happened. June needs to stop. Anyway, the game I'm talking about right now is the Talos Principal. And while sure, there is a kitten on the cover and you could think that looks cozy, nothing else about the cover looks cozy, so I very much just ignore this game for years. But now that I know this is a philosophical puzzle game, I am so unbelievably down. In the Talos Principal, you find yourself in a contradictory world of ancient ruins and advanced technology, and you have the task of solving a series of puzzles. From this alone, it feels a lot like Portal, which is another game I think the less you know about going into, the better. I am ready to get blown away by the visuals and incredibly stumped by all 120 of the puzzles. All of the comments on the trailer are people saying, please play this game stays with you, game of the decade, all of that good stuff. So for less than $5, I am definitely ready to jump into this one. So this next one you can buy individually or you can buy both games together. So I'm going to lump Figment 1 and Figment 2 together right now, especially because if you do buy them both together, it's 40% off, whereas Figment 2 was on sale for 25% off. Figment 1, not on sale, what can I say? I don't know if any of that made sense, but don't worry, the games don't make much more sense than that either. In Figment, you play as Dusty, the former voice of courage that lives inside the mind. This whole action adventure is set inside the human mind and feels really fun and very surreal. There are nightmarish creatures that have spread fear inside the mind, and now it's Dusty's job to solve puzzles, explore the mind, and beat the nightmares. The game is fully voice acted, has a great soundtrack, and the bosses even sing, something that definitely adds a lot of whimsy and cozy. This game looks like such a crazy and chaotic cozy time, and I am all about that. This is a time in my life for goofy games, and I love it. Both of these games look really fun, really different from others I've played, and they do go on sale a fair bit, but this is the best price I've seen so far, so if you've been thinking about these games, it could be good to jump on it now. We have a second game on our list today, all about a fox, and this one comes really highly recommended from all kinds of different gamers. This is of course Tunic, which looks very heavily influenced by Legend of Zelda, and that can honestly never be a bad thing. The items, the outfits, the puzzles, all very Zelda to me. Look at that. Oh, he's so cute. Not everyone will find Tunic cozy, as there is a large helping of combat and absolutely zero hand-holding. There is an in-game manual that you can use to find out more, but almost all of it is in a different language, so you have to work that out too, plus you actually have to find lost pages from it throughout your adventure. This is one that really rewards you for being smart and strategic and has become an unexpected favourite for so many gamers. Like a classic Zelda game, there is so much to explore in both the dungeons and just the world itself, and the dungeons look really varied. This whole world looks really cool, and I'm intrigued to play something that looks quite cutesy but promises to be on the harder side of an action-adventure game. Lastly, on our more cozy-ish side of this list comes Octopath Traveller, another game that comes really highly recommended that I have just somehow yet to play. As the title suggests, you play as 8 people whose stories all come together and you get to complete all of their storylines. There is a dancer, a merchant, a warrior, so many different people to follow, each with different stories, struggles and strengths, and you can switch between storylines and party members for battles in ways that suit your playstyle. I love games that are story rich, and the fact that this basically has 8 of them sounds incredible to me. Octopath Traveller also has a gorgeous soundtrack and art style that really draws you into the world, and with the recent release of Octopath 2, I'm definitely keen to pick this one up on sale and become immersed in a brand new story of discovery. I know Octopath Traveller isn't a new one, but if you're like me and just haven't played it yet, it could be that now that it's 30% off and this does not come on sale all that often, and with the summer holidays, this could be a really good time to pick it up. Now we are onto the properly cozy side of this list, and I have been very selective. There are still so many games here. If it's one that I think everyone knows about or one that is always on sale, I have not necessarily included it because I feel like it's better to tell you about the games that are new to you and the games that aren't on sale as much. But please let me know if there are any games you are picking up or interested in that you know are on sale or not on this list. That could really help people, and I would love to know what you guys are picking up. This first one is a game that I had no idea existed until recently. recently, but oh my goodness, I'm glad it did. This is just so much nostalgia is coming back to me with this game. And that is the Disney Classic Collection, Aladdin and The Lion King. They've brought them to the Switch. Oh my goodness. Just looking at the footage, thinking back to the level with the genie, so many memories. I believe Aladdin is the first ever game where I used a cheat code to go through the levels. I don't think it was the Konami code, I just know I definitely cheated. There's not too much to say game-wise, as it's just the story of the films but in the form of a side-scrolling action game. One thing they've added, which I guess takes away my need to cheat, is the fact that you can actually just fast forward to the point in the game that you want to play, which is a really cool idea, and is probably because I don't think when it first came out you could save. You had to always just start from the beginning all over again. It's probably clunky, it's definitely nostalgic, and it's absolutely cozy. I am so happy that these games are back in my life. This next one, please remind me to buy it because I've waited for it for so long, and finally in August I'm going away and I would have time to play this, and it has not been on sale yet for the Nintendo Switch, so I am so excited. Even though it's only 25% off, I am definitely picking up Potion Permit. The art style of this one reminds me of Moonlighter, but even more cozy. The characters look like they have so much depth, and you have a dog. Oh my goodness, you have a dog. The dog has goggles. This is just a great game. I don't know what more people need. It's all there. In Potion Permit, you play as an accomplished chemist who is set out to the town of Moonbury in order to heal the mayor's daughter. Before this point, the town relies on a witch doctor and is really wary of modern advancements, so you're going to have a hard time convincing them that you're there for good reasons. As you help the town, you'll also be helping to restore their trust, discover their secrets, and when you're not working, you can freely explore the town of Moonbury and the surrounding lands. A great thing to note, and something that makes this even more cozy to me, is that you can go at your own pace. There are no time limits on game objectives, so even though there might be lots of tasks you can do, you can choose what to take on and then just chill with your dog and romance a few NPCs if that's what you want to do. If I miss this, if I forget to buy this game, I need to have a sit down with myself and think about what I've done. The next game on my list is actually one that does go on sale a fair amount, but usually over on Steam and not for the Switch. Right now, Shady Part of Me is available for $5.99 at 60% off, the biggest discount it's ever had. As the name suggests, this is on the darker side of cozy gaming, and I've mentioned it before on my channel in my creepy but cozy video. In Shady Part of Me, you play as both a little girl and her shadow to overcome emotional struggles in a surreal environment that sees you play as both 3D and 2D. A cool mechanic in this game is the ability to rewind time, meaning if you make a mistake, it's less punishing as you traverse your two main characters. And I especially love that you'll need to manipulate the world around you, manipulating both light and shadow so that your shadow can move forward. This one definitely has a lot of mystery and feels a bit like Little Nightmares, but it's definitely a little brighter and more forgiving, so this could be a great segue for a lot of cozy gamers who want to try out darker games. If for some reason you fancy a comedic puzzle game about love, life, and death, plus you want some jazzy music and narration from Sir Patrick Stewart, Felix the Reaper sounds like the exact game for you. This is a short and really fun looking puzzle game about Felix, a Reaper working in the Ministry of Death who is in love with Betty the Maiden from the Ministry of Life. Felix decides to take a job that he thinks will bring him closer to her, and to do so he has to move through the shadows and manipulate his surroundings to ensure people die according to the Ministry's plans. The whole thing sounds so weird, but I also really want to know how it all works out for Felix. And while simplistic, I really like the level designs and the apparent Final Fantasy style cutscenes to keep you on your toes. This game might not be cozy for everyone, but I think it's always good to keep a funky puzzle game on the back burner, so for $1.99, this is one I'm picking up. Another game that might not be for everyone is Coffee Talk, and this is a game that I know I'm going to love, but I just haven't picked it up yet. And now that it's 50% off, I feel like I have zero excuse not to get it. Chilling in an alternative Seattle, making drinks for fantasy folk, and listening to their problems just sounds like a super cozy time, especially for me as it's coming into winter right now in Australia, and even just talking about this game is making me want to make a chai latte. We are all just gonna vibe together, listening to jazz and lo-fi music. I know this game won't be for everyone, because I know a lot of the time it isn't perfect for me either. I love games where I can run around in like Breath of the Wild, but I also know that I love being able to play a story just as much as watching or reading one. This game feels akin to reading a good book, but also being able to make those characters a coffee, and that sounds like a really cozy mix. Okay, so this next one does break my rules because it is on sale a lot, but for such an amazing game, I don't hear people talking about it a lot, and this sale will save you $40, and I know that if I bought this and then found out that it's on sale next week, I'd be really pissed at the YouTuber that didn't tell me, so this is for everyone. I am covering my back. Everyone needs to buy Ni no Kuni for $9.99. It is 80% off right now until June 26th. This game is 40 hours long, and if you're thinking, wow, this looks like a Studio Ghibli film, you're damn right it does, because they actually did all the storyboarding, and Hisaishi Joe, who is behind a lot of Studio Ghibli's music, is the composer on this too. I said before that games can be just as rich as watching or reading a story, and what could be more cozy than a Studio Ghibli game? Ni no Kuni follows Oliver, a boy on an adventure through a world inhabited by new friends and ferocious foes alike, in hopes of bringing back his mother after a tragic accident. This all takes place in a gorgeous fantasy world, and Oliver has to take on enemies and overcome countless challenges that stand between him and his mother's salvation. While you play as Oliver, you also have familiars and other party members that will fight with you in a turn-based system. As much as I love Pokemon, my goodness, I wish they put the same effort into the battle animations that Ni no Kuni does. It's not even out of this world, it's just that they've tried. If the Pokemon team could shift some people out of the make all evolutions stand on their hind legs team and move them into the animation team, that's all I'm saying. As I said, playing a 40-hour Studio Ghibli film sounds like the perfect way to spend my time, the coziest of cozy weeks. I have already bought this and need to set aside some time to play it before they take my Totoro away for being a fake fan or something. 2 more games left on my list, and this one just came out. I feel like I was only just talking about Fall of Porcupine the other day, but it turns out that's because I did. Fall of Porcupine only just released in June and is on a 15% off sale for the next few weeks. Fall of Porcupine is all about Finley, a new doctor working in an old hospital who cares for their patients through a series of mini-games that challenge your logic, speed, and skill. At first glance, the town of Porcupine is a small, warm, and friendly town with lots of great conversations to be had with your fellow healthcare workers and the residents, but as time goes on, things are definitely not as innocent as they seem. I'm yet to jump in, but from the reviews on Steam, people are saying this is really similar to Night in the Woods and has a great story, but there have been a couple of bugs. But I'm really not put off by this. I feel like every new game right now is released with a few bugs that they just need people to find and iron out. I feel like any bugs will be sorted out pretty quickly. It could be that by the time this goes out, there aren't any bugs left, but I wanted to mention it just in case. And lastly, I wanted to end with a silly one that is a great couch co-op game that is sure to have you laughing and yelling with your friends. And that is a wonderful game called Moving Out. It's on sale a fair bit, and right now it's available for 80% off, making it just $6.24. And even if you only spend one evening playing this, I think that's a good price and a guaranteed good time. I need something right now other than just Valheim to play with my partner, and I think this is the one that I'm gonna go for. As you can probably imagine, Moving Out is about a removals team tasked with moving objects into a truck. On top of this, in each level there are some bonus objectives that you tend to hit if you're getting imaginative with the level and having fun instead of always sticking with the main tasks. This game is absolutely incentivizing you to go a little off-piste. While primarily a co-op game, there are accessibility settings to make solo play an option, as you can make 2-player items lighter or make the time limits longer. And of course you can play with more people, and the game will scale up levels to reflect it. The goofy character customization and the creative level designs make this one really stand out to me, and should be fun to play with both gamers and non-gamers alike. And that is it. That is 16 incredible cozy Nintendo Switch games you can pick up right now with great discounts on the eShop. That is 16 games that I'm really interested in, that I hope you liked, and I don't think I can afford to get all 16 games, but I think on my short list is Octopath Traveller, Potions Permit, and Moving Out, because there is actually a 4th game called The Pathless that I'm really excited to pick up on the sale, but I'm gutted to say it's on sale in Australia and not America, so it's not on this list, but that looks like a great game that I'm sure I will tell you about, and if I like it then I'll be sure to do a review or a let's play or something like that. That is all from me. I really hope that you liked this. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a short one to research and film and edit, but oh my god, this took so long, especially because the first time I looked through all of this in Australia and then realized not everything is on sale around the world. So then I had to look up everything again in American, and oh my god, it just took so long. these are still a video I really like making. I love being able to tell you guys about all the sales and all the incredible games out there, because there are just so many and everyone is so busy that I think these videos can be really helpful. So please, if it did help you, give it a like. If you like content like this and cozy let's plays and streams, please do subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And thank you so much to everyone that has. It is just unbelievable that I get to make videos like this and that anyone watches them. It's just great. It's a dream come true. I cannot ever complain, except about that noise right now, okay? That's all from me. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, a wonderful rest of June, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.